Grace and peace. This is yours truly coming at you once again, Bishop Bowser. And today I just wanted to talk to you briefly about breaking bad habits. A bad habit is something that is injurious to you, right? And harmful to you, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual. When you talk about a bad habit. And when you talk about a bad habit, it's about lack of self-control. And so I want to share a few things with you about breaking bad habits, because the thing you have to ask yourself is, as I heard many people say many times, are you climbing up a new mountain or are you sliding down an old one? And these bad habits can interrupt your life. These bad habits can keep you from reaching or conquering something in your life that you're trying to conquer, like a goal or something you're trying to do and succeed in life. These bad habits can really disrupt that and interfere with what you're trying to do. And so I just wanted to talk to you briefly about it. And so one of the things the first thing I want to share with you is that, if you want to break your bad habit, you have to quit feeding it, right? Just simply stop feeding the bad habit. If there's something in your home that you need to get out of your home, get it out of your home. If it's something that you're involved with, step away from it, right? If it's a negative thought, right, shift that negative thought to a positive thought. Whenever the negative thought comes, let that be a trigger to start thinking a positive thought, right? Because first you think it, then you feel it, then you act on it, and then you get an outcome. And if it's a negative thought, a bad habit, you're going to feel that way, you're going to act on it, and then you're going to have an outcome that you don't like. And many of us don't like living with ourselves because of our bad habits. So if you want to be able to wake up and look in the mirror and like the person that you see, start working on those bad habits. And the way you change is stop feeding it. Whatever you're doing, just starve it to death. Starve that habit to death, right? The next thing I would say, if you want to break your bad habits, is you got to replace that old habit with a new habit, right? It takes 20 days or 21 days to form a new habit, and 20 to 21 days to break an old habit. So you got to replace that old habit with a good habit, or that bad habit with a good habit, right? And because one thing is for sure, it is hard to form good habits, but they are easy to live with. It is easy to form bad habits, but they are hard to live with. And so if you want to experience the good things in life, you got to take the hard way of life. But I believe it's Les Brown or someone that said, if you do what is easy, life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, life will be easy. So number one, stop feeding that bad habit, then replace that bad habit with a good habit, right? And then you have to be willing to experience the pain and the suffering and the cravings, the desire that you have, right? And so you have to resist it, or you have to accept it, right? Because you're going to have, when you're trying to break an old habit, you're going to have the desire to want to engage in that, right? And to step away from that, it can be painful sometimes, right? It can be hard to step away from that, but you just have to be willing to say, no, I'm gonna deal with this pain. I'm gonna deal with this suffering. I'm gonna deal with these cravings, because eventually that suffering, that pain, those cravings, those evil desires, they're gonna fade away, right? And then it gets easier and easier and easier. But initially it's gonna be painful. So number three, it's going to be painful. You're going to suffer, and it's going to be hard. But don't give up, right? And then number four, you have to have the no exception policy, right? Once you move away, once you're on the roll, don't go back, right? Like I said, don't think about it. Don't put yourself in places that you're going to be tempted. Really make it up in your mind that no means no, and I'm not going to engage in this no more. I'm not going to feed it anymore. I'm not going to allow myself to get trapped in this anymore. And I'm not going, because as the scripture says, whom you give your members to, that's whose servant you are. So if you try those four simple things, you can break your habits. I broke a lot of habits, and still working on myself as we grow and learn. We still got to work on some things in our mind and in our spirit and spiritually. But a lot of things, you know, being 60 years old, I have experienced a lot. And when you talk about bad habits like drinking, consuming tobacco, consuming drugs, or I mentioned drinking, but when I'm talking about drinking, I'm talking about alcohol, liquor, and things like that, sexual addiction, negative thinking, anger, not managing your anger, and things like that. And so if you really want to break those bad habits, follow those 4 things that I talked about, and you'll be well on your way. All right. God bless you.